All right, folks, welcome back. It's our midweek review commentary for the ICT mentorship. Okay, we have the dollar index. We ended up sweeping below the short-term low in here. And a little bit of an imbalance if we close like this. And I'm a little early today with the production, so I'm trying to get ahead of everything and get back to doing the other video production. So these are going to be very brief, so that way you're not spending too much time with them either. The fair value gap, if we trade up in that tomorrow, that might set up another wave selling down below this short-term low, maybe dig into the imbalance here if we're going to continue going lower. I'm not trying to pick the top, folks. That way you understand what I'm suggesting here. But if we rally back above the high of yesterday, that's bullish. As long as we remain below this candle's high, we're bearish and we're looking for here and here. All right, hourly chart. You can see we swept the relative equal lows. I mentioned this on Monday's video. We broke down institutional order flow entry drill here. And then if we roll over again, we have this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, and the sell side liquidity resting below here. On the 15-minute time frame dollar index, this little imbalance in here, we might want to revisit that, bump the high. That might be an area they want to sell. They might be defending 104 for the near term. Sell side resting below here is the initial target should we start to roll over. Euro dollar daily chart. Okay, so we got our pop up through and completely rebalanced this. Now we went above it. Trading down into this area here, this is the last line in the sand for the bulls. So we don't want to see it trade below this level here. Okay. In other words, I don't even want to see it rebalance. And you'll see what these levels are when we drop down in lower time frames. But I don't want to see it come back down to here. I think that's not necessary. I'd like to see it remain open from this candle's high and whatever low it forms today. Here's that imbalance on the hourly chart. I mentioned on the daily chart, you would notice that we're here. So I don't want to see it trade any lower than this discount low here. And a lot of buy side here remains. All right, small little imbalance in here. I'm not sure if that'll hold, but if we trade down into this low here, that has to be the line in the sand where we don't want to cross it. If we go below that, then it may act as resistance and offer lower prices trading into the sell side liquidity here. All right, in pound dollar, we got a rally up. We have buy side resting here, small little imbalance in the form of a SIBI. In my opinion, this is a little too much of a give back, but it might just simply become a immediate rebalance and then go higher. And then moving on into the hourly chart, we have the near-term sell-side liquidity has been tagged here. A little bit of a buy-side imbalance, sell-side inefficiency. That might be running sell-side and rebalancing and then attacking the buy-side liquidity here. If we lose this imbalance and come back up into it as resistance, then that's obviously going to set the stage for moving into here or attacking this level here and rebalance and then the sell side here. So long story short, for the bulls, we have to defend this area in here. So the algorithm has it perfectly lined up for something like that. We have buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, sell side liquidity, taken relative equal highs. You know, we'll see what we get. But again, that's assuming that there's an important high in dollar that's formed. We don't know that yet. All right, pound dollar, 15-minute time frame. Not much more than I already said on the hourly chart. Small little imbalance that's been refined. Sell side, we're trading into it here. So we want to see 123.50 defended. And if it starts to rally above short-term highs here, then it's obviously going to most likely close in on the buy side liquidity here at the 125 big figure. It looks like they did not want to take it above 125 big figure. You see that? So, you know, to me, it looks like they're just offering the idea that it's resistance. I'm not convinced of that, but, you know, I'm willing to be wrong. All right, running over into E-mini S&P June delivery contract 2022. All right, so we got our volume imbalance in here. Almost messed up a couple times doing YouTube videos. It's hard. It's hard balancing all that stuff and not trying to say things that I don't want to talk about over there. But the idea of it trading up into the volume imbalance there, we had two objectives hit there on Tuesday's trading and on Wednesday. We opened up, went up a little bit into it, and then violently sold off in here. So we're going to be looking for any willingness to find reasons to support the price in here. I don't think it's likely to do that, but if we take these levels here, extend them out in time, that might act as a higher time frame resistance area, and then maybe attack the sell side here, and probably going to see a big down move should we take out this low here. We're bearish until we get above these highs. All right, here is the E-mini S&P hourly chart, and we rallied up. I don't have too much work up on this one because my mind was set on the NASDAQ, so we're going to stick with this one because I operated in it today. But the idea was that we ran above short-term high here up into the volume imbalance that you all know about, and then that's a premium array, and then it starts to break lower and really attack the sell side liquidity here. And there's this small little imbalance right in here that I'm going to refine even further on the 15-minute time frame, but draw that out on your own with an order block. So we might get a little bit of bounce there in the 15-minute time frame here. Here's that imbalance. It's been refined on the 15-minute time frame. So around that 38,080 level, 3870, I guess that would be what, 78 to 3884 or 85 in that range. I like the 3880 level, and I like 3885. So that might be our next downside objective. Do we need to run a little bit higher first? There really hasn't been any kind of upset on the stops, at least on the 15-minute time frame, except for this one in here. So while that's nice and it's notable, I'd like to see it try to do something else because it's fallen off a lot today. So I was anticipating some kind of a 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon run on trailed buy stops for short holders. It just are relentlessly running it lower. So we'll see what we get. We're bearish until we take out those daily highs I mentioned at the beginning of the discussion on S&P. That's going to be it. Short, brief, to the point, and I will touch base with you all by way of YouTube and on the weekend commentary. 50 years old's coming on. I can feel it. I'm having a senior moment today. The weekend commentary on Friday. I'll talk with you then as well. Until talk to you next time, be safe.